Now, as God created the mercy seat to be placed on top of the law which God was going to place in here, these symbols had changed. It had changed from two females and a male to two males on this side. This was the last voyage of them walking up on the earth. I got it right here how they was going to come. So the cherubim with the wings stretched out, and this was stretched out, will symbolize Jesus to witness, where it had transformed itself, and the mercy seat was going to symbolize Jesus. This letting us know after Moses, it was two human of the human flesh was going to be called up by God and go up to heaven to be attached onto the mercy seat. Even though the man couldn't see the mercy seat, the mercy seat was created for a symbol to let us know that two was going to be called up by them having wings. There was the prophecy, the symbol was going to take flight and go up to be attached onto Jesus Christ. And they would come back down, spoken of in Isaiah, the prophecy of Isaiah. This was God through time. So, what this did was, as the prophet Isaiah spoke concerning the return of Jesus Christ, Elijah, I got here, who was going to be born, reincarnated by John the Baptist, you'll find it in 2 Kings chapter 2. King 2, 11-12, where Elijah was called up. But Moses, the symbol of Moses was called up in Deuteronomy 34, 1-12. You'll find that there. Because I got this here. The woman of the Canaanites, it was going to cover the bottom before they went into Egypt. This is before they went into Egypt. And after Egypt would come a male, would be the bullock, would be Moses. That's who I would live by the Spirit. But she goes here, which was turned into a ram. This would symbolize Elijah, and who would be John the Baptist. And Jesus would come from the seed of Abraham, which was Isaac, who would become from the mercy seat, who was the Hebrew. Now, what God was told us in St. Luke 1-180 during this episode, where all these would be, because it was spoken of in Isaiah the prophet, in Isaiah, before you get to this part here, that there was angels coming down from heaven, having 6 wings, 2 wings covering the face, 2 wings covering the feet, and then within the 2 wings they flew with. There was Jesus and his 2 witnesses as they had went up to heaven and was attached on to Jesus, and one was attached on the back. But the one had the power to fly and to be the burden of the flight was Jesus, which was placed in the middle. John the Baptist was to be born first, which was speaks of in St. Luke. That's what I put it here, or Luke, whatever you prefer. 1-180 is the contents of that prophecy. Now, Isaiah 6:1-3 is a 2-stage prophecy. One was to come before Jesus was born, letting us know how Jesus was going to be born. And that's when John the Baptist was going to be born 6 months earlier or before Jesus was going to be born. They had to be cousins because they was attached. But that he was preparing the way for the birth of Jesus Christ, which symbolized by the 2 wings covering the face. But there was 2 wings that covered the feet, that it was not time for him to be born, so he remained a spirit attached onto Jesus as a witness in the grave. These were the cherubim that was caught up and was made an attachment onto Jesus Christ. God knew that they was going to say Jesus was the Son of Man. And the way God used this to show that Jesus was not a son of man, he left my spirit, which was the spirit of Moses, attached on to Jesus, because I was not supposed to be born until my time during World War III. To come back as witness that Jesus was not the Son of Man, come back as the Comforter. So by me Jesus not having the substance of a man, and I needed a substance of a man the same as John the Baptist needed the substance of a man to be born, because John the Baptist had a mother and a father, which causes germination. Had I was yet attached on to John the Baptist, then I would have been born a twin to John the Baptist. So that tells us that excluded me from being attached on to John the Baptist. But instead, I was yet attached on to Jesus Christ, because it tells us in Isaiah 6:1-3 that we all came down from God, attached one onto the other. And when this is the flight I got coming down here, these were these to be sacrificed. And John the Baptist separated his son from Jesus 6 months before Jesus was born. But when Jesus came down to enter his mother Mary, I didn't have nowhere to go, because it was not my time to be born. Because right here, we all supposed to be slain at a format of 3 years. But she-goat, which changed into the number 2 ram, he was John the Baptist, which was who supposed to be slain first. Because Jesus, these 2 rams was of the same pedigree, that means they was cousins. So John the Baptist and Jesus was cousins. But as he gave the pigeon and the dove and the pigeon was not separated, this tells us that 2 was in the same body, because they was not mixed, even though he showed this primary symbol as them being mixed. So this takes us back here. The 2 wings covering the feet was yet attached on to Jesus as Jesus went into his mother Mary. He went into his mother Mary with me attached on to him. So by me not being born and I being remained in the blood of Jesus, I became the blood of the Lamb, who was an attachment, because without a germination from a male, I couldn't be born. So therefore, Jesus could not have been the seed of a man, because I was not born. But he told him in St. John that 16 that he gonna send the Comforter back. Now, this was the mercy seat. It takes us to this part here. This is the path that I draw, bringing us back down. This was the ark. The ark of the covenant became the 12 tribes of Israel. The law of Moses, supposed to be placed in their heart, became a part of them. Meaning that they shouldn't give up their law for nothing, because the Antichrist, which would come from the Gentiles, who was not in the book of life, which came from the angels bearing children unto the daughters of men, they was going to force them to abandon the law of Moses and take on the law called democracy. This is what's going on there today, right now, at genocide. It's taking place. So after John the Baptist became beheaded, he came down to be born upon the face of earth as 3 wings. Angels have 3. Once he came down and John the Baptist was born, and only after John the Baptist was beheaded, John the Baptist was 30 years old when he baptized Jesus Christ, and he went into prison after he baptized Jesus Christ, because Jesus himself was 30, but he was 6 months younger than John the Baptist. And at age 33, Jesus would be crucified. You find that in St. Luke, I believe, chapter 3. Now, what this tells us, Jesus in St. Matthew's, he at 21 verse 1-5, the symbol had to change from to 2 burden beasts, let you know that the one was yet attached to another, that something was attached on to Jesus. And coming down from heaven, it had to have the wings covering the feet. But once it got up on the ground, he changed to 2 burden beasts. Jesus went in to Zion, riding the ass where the coat of fold was spoken of by the prophet of old. And by the coat being tied to the ass, the fold of an ass, this let you know Jesus yet had an attachment onto him. Also spoken of in Isaiah chapter 11, where he said, a stem, a rod, there would be a rod come out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch would grow out from him, who would have quick understanding to show you the thing that's going to come. He told you this here. That was his last witness, final witness. But after John the Baptist would be beheaded, Jesus and I would be beheaded last. Right here.